a specific area for walk-in, so you don't necessarily need to call. I know they're very busy, as I mentioned, trying to get appointments or for their nurse's clinic. So you can definitely show up. But what's maybe an even more easier way of getting connected with student health? Angelina?
Well, I have same-day appointments, so you can get in contact with them by calling or doing it online.
Doing it online. I know we talked about Lisa about doing some services online. So if that is something that students can do or based on their situation, they can definitely go on the website. What else? Yeah.
So like the other services that you do have to pay for, like only $20 or $30 for it to be like for going to the actual doctors, the copay itself is already $1.5.
Yeah, exactly. So you all pay a health fee, right? That she talked about, and this is something that during orientation it's going to come up, and you're going to be talking to your students, freshmen transfers, that their services are going to be provided in the fees that they pay for the San Diego State. So there are some augmented services that they offer. They mentioned a couple, but most of them are going to be already part of it. So counseling psych services, right? Health promotion, and obviously the services within student health. What else?
I had a question. The fee you pay for this, is that a mandatory fee or can you like opt out?
I don't know. Does anyone know?
I'm pretty sure it's fine.
I didn't put in the school fees that you pay with the $300.
Isn't your tuition fee?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's the basic tuition, and then these are part of the fees. I don't know if there's an opt-out option. There is no opt-out.
I don't think there is, but it's not like they break down those fees like into each individual thing that you're paying for. It's all just kind of combined together, so there'd be no way to kind of divvy it out.
Yeah, just
I was gonna say that the pharmacy offers cheaper prices than most other places.
yeah. I think that's a hidden treasure. I think for some of our campus, I would say, because they definitely have really discounted stuff down there. When I was sitting here a long while ago, I would definitely go there just to get like any over-the-counter drugs or anything like that. So they have those available. I think staff can also use staff or alumni. Alright, so let's talk about our second assignment, which was student disability services. What are some takeaways from student disability services? Yeah. Did everyone hear that in the back? No. Can you just speak up a little bit louder? Because I think that's a great point.
Which part?
Both.
The takeaways were like the invisible, permanent, and temporary, that they provide accommodations for all of those disabilities, and that their focus is to level out the playing field versus cure or treat the actual disability.
Yeah, so I think that's a great point. I think that'll be important for you all to know, and to mention those things to your tour participants or when you're working orientation, that there are going to be invisible disabilities that folks are going to have, and you never know on your tours or students that you might be working with, and how we say things and the language that we use will be really important for them to feel that there is a place for them here on campus, and that they'll be able to level out the playing field when they come here, right? They may have a specific disability, but there is services that, based on that they can support them and grant them, the education that they deserve. So I think that's really important. What else? What are some of the programs that they support? She mentioned two specifically. Yeah, Sarah?
A lot of people know about like the third floor and the fifth floor, but they don't know there's a center run library.
Yeah. So talk about the high-tech center, right? So yeah, that's another great way. I didn't even know about that. I knew there was a high-tech center. I just didn't know where exactly it was located. So that's one of them. Yep. Did you have something else? The media center? What else?
There's those like two programs that they like partner with, like Trio and Work Ability 4, I think is it. And that like provide students like career services, like career eligibility, and then I think TRIO had to do with like the high tech center they mentioned, like
Yep.
just like providing extra services for students.
Exactly. Any other ones? So what about counseling and psych services? What would you talk about to parents or prospective students when you discuss counseling and psych services? Yeah, Rachel?
The next month's all free for like anybody, and that anybody could call and say like, oh, this student's not being encouraged, like express concern.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a great service. So, you know, if there's staff or faculty, you know, when I was working in the residence halls, I actually had a liaison, a counselor there that I would call and just let them know I had a concern about a student, and you know, we would have a conversation about what were some of the things. But parents, you know, can also call or friend you all as friends if you have a concern for a student, and then we'll just walk you through. So, yeah, Gabrielle?
The counselors are equipped to handle crisis situations.
Yep, so they're fully trained therapists, counselors, right? So they have a lot of great experience, great staff, there to support students. What are some of the more specific, maybe counseling or groups that they have? You mentioned a couple. Yeah,
I think it's cool if the group counseling group versus just one-on-one, or individuals for one-on-one. Because I think in our coaching, it says like workshops and counsel, but we don't really know what
the specific ones. Yeah, so that's definitely one of them. The brief, just, you know, someone has had a family member, friend pass away recently, and then there was the other one that they talked about, the coach, right? So obviously you're all college students, there's a lot of stress, just in life, you know, for folks. So there are groups, you know, that folks can attend, and you know, this would be another way to cope with some of their stress. What else?
That there's no session limit and that we have the biofeedback.
Biofeedback, yeah. That's also, I think, something I've heard about. You know, they're not really a limit, but you definitely want to, when we talk about, it's more of a short term, right? You know, they can't be there for a full year, I would say. But they do refer off campus. Alright, so what about health promotion? What are some of the programs or services offered to that department? Jordan?
They have like community resource specialists who like help with like off-campus referrals, which I like, thought was like interesting. They're like, oh, they'll explain how to like use your insurance and stuff like that.
Yep. So they have somebody there to help you out with that, for sure. Callie?
There are like two programs to talk about the most, the PrEP manners and system for like drugs and alcohol things,
Yep.
as well as like
And sexual violence, yeah. What else? What are some other things? Yeah.
also the one you mentioned about study abroad education and how to like stay healthy over there before you go.
Yeah, which is also something that is great that they offer, right? Because, you know, a lot of you, many of you, will study abroad, and you definitely want to know what are some, you know, things that you should be aware about when traveling to a different country that you may not be thinking about, right? So that's definitely something that they offer there. Yeah.
I thought it was cool too that student organizations can like request to have presentations for their meetings.
Yes. So there's different presentations that they offer around sexual health, healthy eating on campus, which is definitely an important one. So yeah, there's a lot of different workshops that you offer. Anything else? So definitely review the materials that you were handed out today. We'll include some of that stuff on the quiz, some of the things we just talked about as well, and then just review your notes for next week. So kind of switching gears a little bit, we wanted to talk about the rubric that we gave you all right before our first presenter came in. Did you all have a chance to look over it? Was there any questions or anything that you wanted clarification on? And I'll review a little bit more about like the process and what it's going to look like, but maybe specific to the rubric. I saw Jordan, Olivia, and then Sarah.
For the pass with reservations portion at the bottom, if you do get that, is there like something you have to work on, or like just another process you have to go through?
Yeah, so the passive reservations might have been, you know, if there was just, you completed obviously your tour assessment, but maybe there were just some concerns, but not enough to not pass.
Okay.
And, you know, it's gonna be based on this rubric, so say you have, you know, over half of it is maybe disagree or neutral, then that's when there would be some concerns and the evaluators would talk about that. So it would just be based off of the rubric, yeah.
It says tour was 55 minutes, what's the leeway there? Do we have to be right on the dot?
It would probably be pretty close to it. If you're more than like 5 minutes short or more than 5 minutes long, then that's where it would be a little bit concerning. And then Sarah?
For the maintain proper voice projection, so we're not saying it with the mic, correct?
No, so yeah, because it'll just be on a one-on-one, so for this you won't be using a mic. Stephanie?
Like, what if we deliver all the information like flawlessly, but like we were pretty short on like the time? Like, does it really matter that much? Like, if we get everything in there, we did a really good job.
It'll probably be feedback that we give you, you know, it'll just be, I don't think it would be enough to not pass you, but probably the feedback would be that to make sure that you have your spacing, you know, and once you have a group, it's different, we also take that into account. But you know, the pace that you want to take is the pace that you would do on any other tour. So you definitely want to make sure you practice it. Is there another hand? Kimberly and then.
Are we required to like bring this in the checklist to our assessment?
No, so all you need to bring is yourself and your tour attire, and then the evaluator will be reviewing this and a tour checklist. Angela, did you wanna?
I was just gonna comment back on Stephanie's
Yeah.
question. It's not something you have to worry about. If you get all your information in there, you'll be meeting the time requirement. I promise. It's long enough where you cannot say every single thing in 30 minutes while walking the tour around. So don't stress too much about that. Just get the timing right and make sure you get everything in, and you should be right on time.
Yeah, Megan?
Just on the part where it says on time for tour by PSC weight, so we're gonna be like
Yeah.
routine in.
So why don't because I know there's a lot of questions, so let me just explain what's gonna happen, and then from there, I'll open it up if you have any additional questions. So essentially, you're gonna be waiting up at the front, by the PSC, and then your evaluator is gonna be coming out to you to meet you. They'll be taking on a role of a prospective student, so they could be a freshman or transfer. When you ask those questions, you know, in the beginning, it'll be a way for you all to get to know who they're gonna be. So obviously that'll be an important part of your introduction. So you tailor it to the student. So if your evaluator is a psychology major, and you want to talk about something specific about maybe you being a psychology major or something like that, you can tailor it to that student. Or if they're an out-of-state student and you have something that you want to add during your tour script, you can add it at that time. So, or if they're going to be living on campus, you can talk about, you know, your experience of living on campus. So it'll kind of guide you towards, you know, kind of tailoring it to that specific person. Just as if you were with any other student group. And I think, and then when you get to housing, and also the ARC, you're essentially gonna go, so let me back up. So let's start with the ARC. So when you go into the ARC, you'll wanna go in, you know, talk to the staff that is there, you know, just as you would any other tour, and then you'll come back out and get us. And then you'll go into the ARC, and then you'll come back out, just as you would on any other tour. So, you know, you've done your tour shadows with the TIs, you've done your shadowing during your tour time, so it'll be just as that, like that. And then when you get to housing, obviously there won't be a housing representative or a housing tour, but you'll essentially say what is on the tour script up until then, and then you can pause, and then you can take it back up of like, all right, well, you know, I'm glad you all enjoyed, whatever you say, right after the housing rep ends their portion. So does that make sense? Does that help a little bit? And then you'll obviously be in your tour attire, you know, your polo. You don't need to be in your formal pants or skirt, whatever you usually wear, but just wear comfortable shoes.